people.
Yes, and I think this is very, very significant, as you mentioned, that it is obviously commemorated in other parts of the Arab world because for a long time, we know that the support for Palestine globally obviously is huge. It is massive, and it is this collective spirit that gives Palestinians hope, and particularly when it comes to the issue of land, we know how important this is to them, how critical it is to them, because the message is clear from the people of Palestine, even with the demonstration that had taken place, that the land belongs to us, Nazim.
100%. I think just like land issue in South Africa still remains an unresolved matter, I think all colonized people will hold on to the land. The Palestinian people hold on to this land. Many of them have the keys from their homes pre-1948 and pre-1967 when the major removals and expulsion happened of Palestinian people. Many Palestinians still live in refugee camps and yearn to go back to their ancestral land, to their ancestral homes and villages and towns. But the Zionist entity is a very, 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 uh, can I say, scheming kind of entity. So through the Jewish National Fund, they organize to raise money to build settlements and villages or to plant forests over what were once Palestinian land, and they're doing it again. So in the Negev, where they are now trying to take Bedouin land from Palestinians who have been there for many, many, many centuries, they are now holding what they call Negev dinners to try and raise funds so that Israel can remove more Palestinians, uproot them from their homes, their lands, their way of life. And they're offering the land to these settlers at very, very low taxes and rates and so forth. So the whole idea then, if you read between this, is a scheme for the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian people from their natural homeland to make way for Jewish settlers to live there.
Yes, Nazim. And as we head into this month of Ramadan, and as we see year after year, the plight of the Palestinians, the Gaza Strip still remains under siege. We see what's happening out in the West Bank, obviously divided by all these settlements. And we know what is happening out in East Jerusalem as well, Sheikh Jarrah and the like. So, it's going to be another challenging Ramadan for the people of Palestine.
Every day is challenging for the Palestinian people, and every day they amaze us with the resistance and the sumuk, the determination as well to overcome the occupier. Land Day is a day of return from the river to the sea. It's about the liberation of Palestine. Interestingly, that resistance we saw, it's not much on the news. I know Al Jazeera covered it a little bit. But there is a resistance emerging on the new front, and that is from the 48 Palestinians, the Palestinians living in Israel that was occupied in 48. So you have the West Bank, you have a resistance in Jenin yesterday, and I'm talking of a military resistance here, an armed resistance to the occupation. It's beginning to rise up across Palestine. And this is amazing in terms of the commitment of the Palestinian people to win their dignity, their freedom, to win justice by any means necessary. We know they live under military occupation in the occupied territories, the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and Gaza is under siege. But increasingly, there is a unity across the Palestinian ranks, at least at the grassroots level, to resist the occupier by any means necessary. That will continue, and we know that Ramadan is coming, and for the past, I can't remember how many years now, this is the time when the Zionist forces intensify the aggression of the Palestinian people. Just yesterday, the key right-wing protagonist in all of this, one of the most racist anti-Palestinian pro-Jewish politicians occupied the holy sanctity of Masjid al-Aqsa, walking free. And obviously, there are many Palestinians barred from visiting Masjid al-Aqsa, even though they live there and their families have been part of the heritage and the establishment of Masjid al-Aqsa. So they are going to intensify, they're going to antagonize. They're reading also articles of how they are preparing to remove as this right-wing entity the inhabitants of Shashtara and Sirwan in East Jerusalem and other places. The house of demolitions continue on a daily basis. So we need to obviously we need to pray and we need to join the resistance movement in this country through the PSA and other organizations. Even if people want to form their own groups in their own towns, and I think we have to organize the solidarity and we have to grow the solidarity to incorporate as many South Africans as possible in the fight against apartheid, which is now clearly declared. We've known this from the beginning, but now they are key human rights organizations, key players in the United Nations that is recognizing that Israel is nothing less than an apartheid state. We know for a fact that it's far worse than that. It's got this huge support from the West, which gives it impunity for all of its actions, but it doesn't deny that they are a racist state. For that privileges Jews and Jewish settlers over all others. They don't even see Palestinians as people. The rights of the Palestinians are totally undermined just through its two-tier system. I mean, we have a different judicial system for Palestinians under military occupation, and for citizens of the apartheid state. So we have to organize. We have to come together. I'm glad that we are doing a collaboration with Salam Media to bring news, on-the-ground news from Palestine on a daily basis, Monday to Friday during Ramadan. I'd urge people to tune into that. We will be marketing it and sharing it. But good activists on the ground, good people working in Palestine in different sectors that we're hoping to bring their voices through Salam Media to the South African public next week and till the end of Ramadan.
Well, inshallah, we're certainly looking forward to that as well, Nazim. But for now, Nazim, Jazakallah khairan so much. Have yourself a great Jummah ahead, inshallah. And also wishing you all the best, inshallah, for the month of Ramadan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Nazim Adam joining us this morning. We're going to go for a quick break. We come back. We'll be joined by Naeem Jinnah. We're talking about the Turkish prosecutor asking to hold the trial in absentia of 26 Saudis, and this is on the Jamal Khashoggi killing.